I have been saying I'm sorry a lot lately, and it doesn't feel good. Okay, so this is what I'm sorry for. I have moms that they'll sit down in my treatment room, right? I got a email from somebody just a few minutes ago, and a whole list of, I finally got up enough courage to go see somebody. I'd been peeing my pants with jumping, running, whatever it is. I didn't worry about it. Finally got enough courage to go see somebody. And then they see a pelvic floor physio, and the treatment they're given is tons of 90-90s and breathing. Okay, that's not going to work. Or they're given like a tool and a breath strategy and said, we'll see you in a month. If your problem occurs, leakage, prolapse, whatever it is, if your symptoms occur during that activity, running, jumping, I don't care what it is, lifting, we need to be active. And I am sorry that you got all that courage up to go see somebody and my profession let you down. And the hard part is, in these stories, I see glimmers of good things. Like, I definitely feel like there's better awareness of overactive pelvic floor in the role in stress urinary incontinence, also more in the role of pelvic organ prolapse symptoms, heaviness, pressure. So that's all good. But the problem is, the way it's being treated is, here, put a wand on this. Let's make the pelvic floor relax. Come back in a month. When what we need to be doing is, if we're asking our brain to adopt a different strategy. So if we're saying, hey brain, whatever's going on right now, it's clearly not working for me. I know you think it's working, but I don't. We need to do something different. You can't just be like, okay, relax. Not give it any way to change strategies and expect a different result. And so that's where I think, and I've talked about this a ton, I feel like a broken record sometimes, is we've got baseline PT. So baseline things will work for, it's my rule of thirds. A third of people, doesn't matter what they do, they're going to be fine. A third of people are going to respond to baseline standard of care. And a third of people are going to need somebody to kind of elevate that a little bit more. And unfortunately, there's just very few people that are kind of meeting clients at that next level. If you are active and you're having symptoms when you're running, jumping, lifting, whatever, I want to see you do those things. I want to understand what about it in that movement, or where in your run, or I want to run you through a readiness screen and see how's your ankle involved in this. I want to see the big picture things. Lying on your back, doing a 90-90, that was a really bad example, and just doing breathing or just doing wand work, that's great. That's a piece, but we need to pull it all together, and we need to have a comprehensive, now how are we going to apply it? Now how are we going to teach your brain to do something different with this new relaxation or whatever? So back to my apology is, I find myself at least several times a week apologizing to moms, because I know how hard it is to make the appointment, to find a time that actually works, to be able to even the idea of making the appointment is like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do follow-up visits, and how do I navigate that with my kids, his appointments, and she's got practice. And even if your kids aren't that old yet, you still have pick up and drop off and all that crap. And then throw in a mammogram here and there. It's hard to schedule stuff. So when you have somebody that finally says, I'm going to do this, and then they're handed crap, I feel for them. And so, again, most of who I work with are people that have seen multiple other providers. And so it's my job to find where the holes are, what got missed. And then I also, again, I've got a couple of kids in a small business. How little do we need to do so that no one dies? Like, how can I integrate something quickly that you feel a change quickly? Because what that's going to do is if you feel a change, that's going to give you that internal buy-in, like, oh, hey, I can get better here. Now all of a sudden we're a team and we're going to get there faster together. And you're going to understand why that's going on with you. And so if you ever go into an appointment and you don't walk away feeling like, okay, hey, this can work, or if you walk away not sure of like, okay, well, if I'm not getting any better, it's my fault. Again, like, I got enough mom guilt in my life. I'm not passing it out, trust me. I'm not going to pass it out. So on behalf of my entire profession, for those of you that have stepped out there and got the kahunas and you're still not getting any better, I am so sorry. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you find resources in your area that may be better suited towards what you're looking for. I'm happy to help as well. But as moms, like, God, we deserve so much better. And the options are better now than they were even, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when I had my kids. We've got so much better choices. We need to make sure that our moms have access to them. So, hey, if you're one of those people that, as I'm telling this story, you're like, oh, that's my spidey sense. Like, okay, you're doing all the things and nothing's changing. And they're still telling you, just keep doing the things. Oh, we've got to figure out what's missing, and we've got to figure out where the strategies need to change and what's going to work for you. And if you don't have somebody doing that for you and getting you change quick, hop in my DMs. I'm happy to help you kind of navigate that. So again, apologies on behalf of my entire profession. All right, I want to hear your stories. Hop in my DMs. I'd love to read them.